Hey guys, what's going on? I'm Mighty Leafy and welcome to another episode of Chill and Sketch. Today I'm going to be drawing Alita, Battle Angel Alita, also known as Gally. So I'm starting off with the rough sketch here. You can see on the screen that I've done multiple sketches to try and get that pose going on, but ultimately I've settled on the penultimate sort of sketch, and right now I'm just sketching the hair, trying to mold it into the shape that I want it to. I'm spending a lot of time on sketching the torso, not because I want to, just because I haven't actually decided on the rest of the pose yet, so I'm trying to figure that out on the fly. That is, if you can actually even call it a pose. Whereas I remember that she had some exhaust thing going on her arm, so I'm trying to put some emphasis on that. Right there, I forgot that she didn't have a belly button. She's all actually mechanical down there, so I actually drew that in out of habit. So at this point, I've more or less settled on the final look of what kind of clothing she's gonna be wearing, which is sort of like a shirt. The shirt's not gonna go over her shoulder. It's gonna be like a halfway thing where it's sort of hanging around her elbows. Just above the elbows, you know, but it's gonna cover the forearms. I'm just doing some highlights on the hair, just like a few hair strands that I want to emphasize on the final product. Make sure to include that blade that she got from Japan, the other bounty hunter. Right here I'm just doing another layer of sketch on top of the sketch. This is sketch number 2, so it's more specific sketch. So right now I'm sketching in the eye on the secondary sketch layer. Yes, you're allowed to have more than one sketch layer, because why not? As long as your computer RAM allows it, you can have as much sketch layers as you want. You can even call your Lineart layer the sketch layer, and then put another Lineart layer on top of that if you so wish. Anyways, I'm sketching in the eye, the left eye, and made it a little bit smaller than it was in the live action adaptation. Now, Alita Battle Angel was originally a manga series, or actually several of them. It got a 2-episode OVA adaptation back in the early 90s, and it recently got a live adaptation with James Cameron's name attached to the project as producer and screenplay writer. So anyways, I went and saw this movie, and no movie critic, but I will say that actually, you know what? All of the scenes with Yugo were kind of cringy. Aside from that, though, I thought they did a pretty good job on reshuffling, you know, certain elements of the manga and stuff back and forth, just to sort of squeeze more content into the movie. I mean, we would not have had the motorball segment otherwise, which, I mean, it was a very good segment, so I'm definitely pretty happy. Anyways, on with the sketch. Now here I'm cheating a little bit by using the lasso tool to circle all the bits and pieces, and using the transform tool to like move them into more or less the right places, you know. Okay, so right here I'm doing a more specific sketch, more detailed sketch on the hair. These parts of the hair that join with the face are a little bit more important than the in-betweens. Same thing here with the hair that makes contact with the negative space. That is to say, the hairlines that shape the outer shape of the hair. What am I saying? Does that even make sense? I hope it does. Alright, so here's a good old mirror mode check, just to make sure it looks kind of okay from both sides. If you're doing this on paper, just shine a light through it when you flip the paper, and then hope for the best. Okay, so right here I finished up with the sketch and I'm moving towards the line art phase, or actually I am in the line art phase, but you know what? You can call this the sketch layer 3, the third sketch layer if you want, because who's to say when the sketch ends? It can never end if you don't want it to end. So what I mean by that is, if you find yourself doing more details on the line art layer that is still sort of rough, but you want to add to it just in a more perfect line format, then you can always just add another layer on top and just line art that better and fix some stuff on the current layer just so it looks a little bit neater. Sketch layers, line art layers, you shouldn't differentiate them so vividly, you know? Like, it's okay to be a little bit of both. Right here I'm just doing a little bit more line art on the hair. As you can see here, I'm adding a lot of stuff that wasn't on the sketch to the final line art. I mean, with practice, this can be you as well. Or maybe it's already you. Who even knows? But basically, to do that, you just have to have the finished image in your mind before you start line arting, and that's how you do it. Wait, isn't that just another way of me saying my sketch isn't very complete? Alright, so I'm just doing the clavicles there. Is that what it's called? The clavicle? Now I'm just doing the boobs. Is that how you pronounce it? I don't know. Okay, so yeah, the way I kind of line arted that, it really makes it hard for me to commentate on that, because you kind of just get like the vibe of the shape there, and then you just have to draw it in. Everything was kind of planned, even on a sketch phase, so I should probably go into more detail on how to do that in another video, but for now, can't really comment on it other than you just gotta know the shape. That doesn't sound right. I'm basically just making stuff up just to fill in the blanks and make the drawing illustration look more interesting. It doesn't have to be 100% picture accurate to the source material. You can add your own flair to it. Don't be afraid to do that. Sometimes you might get some negativity towards that from other people, but you just gotta brush it off and make silly YouTube videos about it. Right, so I'm just line arting the exhaust holes on her shoulders. I know they don't really line up like that in the movie, but I think this looks cool as well, so I'm not sure what I'm doing here. I think I'm just trying to add details to detract from the inaccuracies to the source material and hope that people still enjoy, you know, the finished product. Am I allowed to say that? Like I'm giving away the secrets and stuff. Well, maybe you guys have already skipped the video at this point. Maybe all this stuff will remain a secret. Who even knows? Right now I'm just doing some little pattern stuff, like that's my attempt at a rose on the left chest part. I think the number 99 was pretty significant to her, so I made sure to include that in. Emphasizing details here. Yeah, I think I'll eventually like went over all that with black ink because later on I realized I sort of hid her entire left arm under patterns and stuff, and that wasn't really what I wanted. Or was it? I don't know. So right here you can see I'm still trying desperately to hide stuff using patterns. So you know, when I was drawing this part, I actually forgot that I was going to color in the lower body with black ink, just like the upper torso. Okay, so I'm just doing the base color for the eye, and then since I finished saying that, I've already finished doing the shading for everything on the face, even the eyes and the face, and that's because I've fast forwarded this sketch drawing thing. Oh, look at that, I'm doing the hair. And this is actually my second time around doing the highlights on the hair. The first time I couldn't really decide on which part to highlight and what sort of highlight style I wanted to do. So I'm just moving the pupils to make it seem like she's more looking towards the side rather than looking at nowhere. A common mistake for me that I need to sort of fix post-production. Doesn't matter as long as you get to it, it's all good. Okay, so right here I finally realized that I had to color that part in, so that's exactly what I do. And then in order to sort of keep the details, the lines there, I just erase some of the coloring to form an outline. And that's it. So the entire drawing took about, I think give or take about 2 hours. Anyways guys, I hope you all enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe if you did. Cannot stress how much it really sort of helps me out from a validation point of view, just to know that somebody actually enjoyed this kind of content. Now, you probably won't believe me, but this is like the 9th time I've actually said this line because I keep screwing it up for whatever reason. Oh, and be sure to check out my Discord server for more drawing related content as well as anime content. Link is in the video description down below. Anyways, with that being said, I am Mighty Leafy, and I will catch you guys next time.